Hi guys, and welcome to a new trick track video. I was looking for speaking about this topic from long time. Honestly, I know one of the biggest problems who are going to build a railway model layout is the space, which is often too close for it. The aspiring modeler has bought many locomotives and coaches, maybe for collection. He, or also she, is looking for a layout to see the models running, but there's no enough space to build it. Also because very often the new modeler dreams a big railway. I don't want to discourage anyone, rather exactly the opposite, and I'm here to give you some tips and suggestions, but you already know, I used to look the fact and to tell it like it is, sometimes in rude way. Consider it that in age 0 gauge, using a radius of 48 cm to don't risk to have any problem of circulation, a circle take in the end 1 square meter. Obviously, in N scale any measurements are almost on half. If we are in age 0 gauge, a square meter is an important space inside an apartment. I feel lucky because I have a room with a low ceiling corner where it is impossible to do anything else. Otherwise, in a railway layout we desire at least one station and we need more space. At first it's possible to use the area inside the oval, for example inserting a terminal station. We could also insert a locomotive's depot, which looks always interesting. Please don't forget that the layout shouldn't represent always a high-speed line with trains of 8 coaches. A small layout, if well done and projected in any centimeters with consistent settings, can become a little masterpiece. About high-speed line, if you are looking for a double-track railway, it will need more centimeters and at least a couple of turnout between the two tracks. This is a simple railway with double oval, but with some scenery elements our layout could be less flat and more beautiful to see. A small river, a little village, a country road could easily improve our project. Somebody hasn't got a square of a meter free, but I tell you, don't give up. Starting from a terminal station, we could create along the wall a point-to-point railway. Sometimes the people prefer to see the running of the trains, but the life inside a terminal station is not less interesting. With this solution, we could create a linear railway, and it's also more realistic than the classic oval. We need just to shelf our railway, and its jeep will not take too much space in the room. The point against is that we will use mainly reversible composition trains if we are not going to focalize the layout of the station's maneuver, and I think it could be very interesting. In this case, the two extremes of the layout could be represented by two stations, or one of those could become an hidden station, creating the possibility to alternate different trains. But it can also become a loop with polarity inversion. In this case, you will need the square meter for the tracks. If you like, it's also possible to hide both of the extremes of the layout and develop the running line. It's a good idea, for example, for a tramway line. The point-to-point layout could be a good idea also if you have a big space for it, instead of a classic oval. Another alternative is represented by a railway along the wall around a room. My first realization was made this way in a very small room with a removable section. It's a good solution to realize a good length railway, not always easy to develop in an apartment. In this case, remember that you can't use the space in the middle and don't build it too high or it will be impossible to admire it, and also dangerous for the models. When all of these solutions are impossible, the last option is the diorama. It doesn't mean that it should be static. It can be, for example, a small railway yard for the maneuver. In a diorama, the scenery must be flawless. Could represent an historic railway or a fantasy scene, a small segment, a piece of railway where our model will stand out. It needed to be rich of details and very realistic. I hope I've showed you some good starting point to grow up your project. If you have any question, it will be a pleasure for me to answer. Thank you for watching and goodbye to the next video.